Welcome back, everybody, to another Dadam Reacts episode. We've been doing movie trailers. If you watched the other episodes, we did A Quiet Place. We did the new Minions movie, so check those out if you haven't. And then we just got done with Trap, right? So there's three that you can watch. Um, but we're going into one. I've been waiting for the trailer to come out. Um, I'll be really honest. This movie is starting real low. One, could give a shit. Two, you're not gonna have Helen Hunt. Well, we'll see. I don't know if she's in it or not. You're not gonna have Bill Pullman, and Bill Pullman was awesome. The first movie was ridiculous. You had flying cows. This one's gonna be equally as dumb. The only thing that could be really cool about this, okay, and I'm just gonna preface it before we go in because I know nothing about this movie, is you're hearing about all of these things happening in Dubai and Saudi Arabia where they're using artificial cloud generators and they're trying to do all these things to bring water to deserts, and it's having some extremely detrimental effects for them. If they were to encompass something to that nature into this movie where all these twisters are appearing and they're trying to discover why because they're so abnormal, that would be a cool hook in, right? And that would actually get me engaged. Um, then it kind of takes it into a different science fiction realm, and I don't know. I think this is just going to be another man versus Mother Nature, but we'll see. But let's get into it. Let's watch it. And I'm gonna try and suspension of disbelief, right? I'm just gonna try and enjoy this, but let's give it a watch.
The once-in-a-generation tornado outbreak continues across Oklahoma.
We've never seen tornadoes like this before, and we need your help.
No, I don't chase anymore.
Kate, we can save lives.
I'll give you 1 week.
All right, fellas. We got PhDs from NASA, FEMA, and Kate.
She's the smartest person I know.
Hey, dudes. This is interesting.
Hey,
Who are they?
It's Tyler Owens. Calls himself a tornado wrangler.
If you feel it,
Scared of nothing and I'm scared to death.
You know, our crew is not like your crew.
I can't breathe and I catch my breath.
We don't need PhDs and fancy tech. Sometimes the old ways are better than the new.
Well, you can always trust a guy who puts his face on a t-shirt. Are those fireworks?
Yes, ma'am.
I really like him, by the
You
way.
got quite the reputation, city girl. You think you can disrupt a tornado?
In theory. But in the field, in the moment, I got it wrong. We never had a chance.
You want one?
Are you seeing this?
We got twins! Twins!
They're combining. Go faster.
Let's ride. It's all right to be scared. Fear's the reason you do it. You don't face your fears, you ride them.
Holy,
Fire
You ever seen
tornado.
anything like this?
not like this.
hold on.
Ugh. The album. I mean, come on. Okay. I told you I'd try. I did not succeed. Ugh. I mean, I don't even know where I want to go with this. This is gonna be stupid from start to finish. It's gonna be every character almost dying 8 million times, and just I was already tired of the sight gags in the trailer. Like literally, how many times do they almost have to get crushed by something? Like it's just it's ridiculous, right? Um, they started off by having something happen in the movie that will never happen again. Right here. This is ostensibly, I couldn't tell you the exact date. I'm not a real car guy. But that looks like an old school, like F-150 Chevy, whatever type of truck that is. That's not a new one, okay? That's American steel. That car weighs a shitload. That tornado is going to lift it up and pull it in. Cut to the next 2 minutes and 30 seconds of this trailer, where every single car that is a brand new, except for this scene, I can appreciate this scene, okay? I'm all for this. I can feel this scene. That's a cool scene. I liked this part because they bore into the ground to hold him in. Except, I would argue this isn't gonna do shit versus a tornado. Because first of all, that looks just like freaking loose soil. So unless this thing was going 30 feet into the ground and then like expanding out, again, it's a movie, but at least they made an attempt as to why this truck doesn't get flung in the air. Um, but we're gonna see trucks running away from tornadoes. We're gonna see trucks, you know, like the tornado chasing after them. It's just don't put this scene in your stupid movie, okay? Don't put this scene in your movie because you think it looks cool to see a truck get ripped up into the air, and then the rest of the movie is other trucks that weigh less than this and not getting ripped into the air, right? It's stupid. It's always gonna be stupid. Um, I thought they were gonna go there with it because all these tornadoes that has never happened before. You bring in not Helen Hunt. Um, Maybe that could be Helen Hunt's mother. I don't know. They can have her be like have a cameo in it. It's all Middle America, so they're leaning really heavily into marketing to them.
Hey, dudes. This is
Um,
interesting. Who are they?
there's sight gags left and right or callbacks to the original movie.
Smartest person I know.
This is interesting.
This is called the Tin Man, right? It's a callback to the first movie. Dorothy is the machine in the back, in one of the other ones. You got
Our crew is not
country
like your
music
crew.
playing. I mean, like these are all like brand new, like half plastic trucks that are gonna be ripping in.
We don't need PhDs and fancy tech.
I'm a blue collar country tornado wrangler.
Sometimes the old ways are better than the new.
Well, you can always trust a guy who puts his face on a t-shirt.
I mean, they're just like.
Are those fireworks?
I mean, that's kind of cool. The fire tornado is really awesome because I actually watched a YouTube video about that happening at a petroleum. I think it was in the Middle East. It was like a oil field or something like that, where a sandstorm came and it was sucking up the. Pause. That was a really bad motion. The tornado was sucking up. It was either gas or oil, something, and it ignited, and so the entire tornado looked like it was on fire. It was really cool. So that's a cool little thing that somebody probably saw on YouTube, so they put it in a movie. Yes, called Dorothy. It kind of actually looks like from the original movie. I don't remember if they actually had Dorothy like painted on it. but you know the copyright for the Wizard of Oz is over, so let's abuse it as much as we
But in
can.
the field,
You know, she built the machine that the whole first movie's about, where
In
they
the
release
moment.
the sensors so that they
I
can
got it wrong.
get better. You have her history. Her team died.
had a
She
chance.
survived because
You want one?
she didn't disrupt the storm. She made it stronger. Who knows? I like the drone.
Are you seeing this?
We got twins! Twins!
They're combining. Go faster.
Let's ride.
This is like the 5th time something's almost hit him. Here's the 6th time. Here's the 7th time. Here's the 8th
right,
time. Here's the 9th time.
Fear's the reason you do it.
Again.
You don't
Again.
face your fears. You
Again.
ride them.
That line is terrible, and I will not see that movie. I would not go to theaters to see it just for that line. It's so cheesy. I mean, that's badass. There's no.
Holy,
Do you ever see anything like this?
not like this.
Hold on, hold on, hold on.
I want to say in the trailer we see them grab onto like the siding or the railings like 5 or 6 times. Did this movie need a sequel? Absolutely not. Let the first one be the amazing movie it was. It was just a lightning in a bottle. It worked. It was awesome. And then now we got this. Maybe it'll be entertaining. I don't know. I'm actually going to go into these comments because I'm curious. So for me, this is borderline dumpster fiery. It'll be, if it's good, it's good because it's bad, sort of a situation. But let's see what the comments say because I'm curious. We're making a sequel to Twister. Ram, how many red trucks do you? All of them. I like that. I mean, so like I said, I love Glenn Powell. I really enjoy him in movies. He kind of his typecasting himself, and I hope he learns and he walks away from that before he just kind of gets stuck in that role where he plays a cocky asshole and he's got the swagger and the smile and that's it. But he's a really good actor. It's cool to hear that he knows he's not going to be Bill Paxton and he shouldn't be that character. Um, and then yeah, it is apropos timing because tornadoes literally just ripped through the Midwest, like all over the place. So I mean, so that's what everyone's line of thought is, right? Universal's setting off real life tornadoes. We got Cal. Okay, see, like I didn't know that. Apparently, this was a real. They added something that was a real event. Um, that some storm chasers lost their lives in 2013. I don't. I honestly could tell you I don't know a lot. Eh. I mean, the first movie is it's a thing, right? It's cool. It's fun. Every couple of years. I mean, see, it feels like people kind of are into it, and that's cool. I'm glad to see that there's people out there that want to watch it. I'm really curious to see how this is going to do in theaters. If it breaks 100 million, I if I was a betting man, unless it just secretly turned into like an incredible movie, I think it's going to be a struggle to hit that. I think yeah, people like the fire tornado too. Someone who lived in Tornado Alley, the original movie, required viewing. It's interesting because they put the El Reno monster in the movie. I guess that's what they dubbed this storm that killed so many people. Um, People just have looked past everything else and they're just focused on the fact that they respected that they put this in the movie, and so maybe that'll be the thing that'll really help them. Yeah, this in 4D would be an interesting thing, right? Where if they actually had wind blowing at you and stuff like that, that would be fire. Okay, so I will rephrase. If I had a 4D theater, I think they do have them down. I'm not driving 4 hours and paying $8 billion to see it, but if I had access to a 4D theater experience, this would be a movie to see in it because I think that would make it better. Um, I mean, but the nostalgia strain seems like it's carrying this right now, so that's super cool. I've watched the whole story. Have you ever seen anything like this? Me, yes, and Into the Storm back in 2014. I mean, so I am actually surprised that there was a lot of really good comments in here, and people do actually seem pretty excited for it. So that's awesome. Um, Good for them. Maybe they just sat on it, and maybe because of what's going on in the world today, it's gonna have a lot of people involved because I mean I've never been through a tornado, so I could never try and comment on what it feels like to get that tornado warning. But you only have a few minutes left. Like, I'm sure that just does something to you and it creates something inside of you that makes this probably way more visceral. I grew up in California. We had earthquakes, we had wildfires, right? But that's all things that you can more or less prepare for or not prepare for. Um, you don't have any control over in the same aspect, but like with an earthquake, right? Unless California was falling into the ocean, I just learned to sleep through them. It had to be a really, really bad one, which was the Northridge earthquake when I was young. Um, and we lost power for like 12 days or something like that. The water system was broken for quite a while. They were giving us cans of water at school. Um, but here in Florida, you get plenty of time for hurricane warning. And if you even say hurricane, the price of water and gas goes up $72. So uh it's an interesting thing. I mean, they got a good team on it. Like I said, I like Glenn Powell. I think his charisma is gonna carry a lot of this movie, and maybe that is where this is gonna really get tested. Can his charisma hold an entire movie together? Like, will he be able to save it? Because if he can put the charm on for the entirety of this movie, I feel like he might be able to save it. So this will be a good test for him, and I would watch it for him specifically. I would not go to theaters to see it unless everyone with me wanted to see it, and then like, oh yeah, I'd watch it, right? Because I'll watch anything. Um, he was secretly one of the better parts of Top Gun Maverick. Top Gun Maverick was a cinematic marvel. I liked his character though, and I like how they did his character too. That he ended up not flying the mission, and he had to kind of like humble himself. But yeah, let me know in the comments if you're hyped for this. If you're like, eh. More importantly, if you're hyped for it, have you been through a real tornado? And if you're about it, have you been through a real tornado? Because I'm curious to see if there's a real line in the sand that gets drawn where if you're hyped for it, you've been through a tornado, and if you're not hyped for it, it's because you've never experienced it, so you don't know like what it feels like, which is what really brings people. Drop a like, subscribe, most importantly, do something kind for somebody.